Want to test your knowledge on some more difficult questions?
I'd like to answer more questions.
What governmental body directly preceded the Ministry of Magic?
The Wizards' Council.
That's correct. The Wizards' Council disbanded in 1707 after the creation of the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy, which required a more structured government to support its enforcement. Which dragon breed is the smallest?
The Peruvian Vipertooth.
Brilliant! Though the Vipertooth is the smallest breed, averaging at around 15 feet in length, it is also the fastest breed and feared for its venomous fangs. Who founded the village of Hogsmeade?
Hengist of Woodcroft.
That's right! It is believed that Hengist used the Three Broomsticks Inn as his home. The hide-behind was accidentally created by crossbreeding a ghoul with what other magical creature?
A demiguise.
Yes! While the hide-behind has the power of invisibility, those who have seen it have described it as a tall, thin monkey with silver hair. What is the only spell known to repel a letherfold?
The Patronus Charm.
Well done. The only known survivor of a letherfold attack was a wizard named Flavius Belby, who was on holiday in Papua New Guinea at the time. Who published the law of elemental transfiguration?
Gamp.
That's it! One of the principal exceptions to Gamp's law is that food cannot be conjured, though it can be summoned. What does the Hogwarts motto translate to?
Never tickle a sleeping dragon.
Correct! In Latin, the Hogwarts motto is Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus. Which magical creature is the only one known to produce eggs through its mouth?
The Runespore.
That's right! According to Parselmouths, each of the Runespore's 3 heads serves a different function. The left head is the planner, the middle is the dreamer, and the right is the critic. Where is Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry located?
Mount Greylock.
Well done! The American school was founded in the 17th century by Iseult Sayre and James Stewart. What is the most powerful love potion known to wizard kind?
Amatentia.
That's the answer. Amatentia smells differently to every person, according to what they find attractive, such as dusty book covers or... Are you interested in continuing on to the next round? They're my most difficult questions.
Give me your worst.
Wonderful. I do admire your thirst for knowledge. Emeric the Evil was killed in a duel against whom?
Egbert the Egregious.
That's right. Emeric gained notoriety for terrorizing villages in the south of England during the Middle Ages when he was the master of the Elder Wand. If a chaser keeps their hand on the quaffle as it goes through the goal, what foul are they committing?
Haversacking.
That's right. Blatching is flying to intentionally collide with a player. Stooging is when 2 chasers knock the other team's keeper away from the goals so that a third chaser can score. A bite from a mackled malaclaw has the unusual side effect of causing what?
Bad luck.
Correct! Native to the European coastline, the effects of a malaclaw's bite can last up to a week. What plant excretes stink sap?
Mimblus mimbletonia.
Correct! The Mimblus mimbletonia plant secretes stink sap as a defensive mechanism when touched. The pepper-up potion evolved from a remedy created by which 12th century wizard?
Linford of Stinchcombe.
Very good. Centuries later, Glover Hipworth would expand on Linford's previous work to create the pepper-up potion we know today. In The Wizard and the Hopping Pot, what does the elder wizard leave for his son in the hopping pot?
A single slipper.
That's correct. The story was created by Beadle the Bard, but there are a few versions. I won't spoil what the slipper was for if you haven't read it recently. The Snallygaster is native to which region of the world?
North America.
That's right. The part bird, part reptile is a distant relative of the Occamy and has serrated fangs and a bulletproof hide. Who is the Muggle knight featured in the Fountain of Fair Fortune?
Sir Luckless.
Correct! The three witches in the story are named Asher, Altheda, and Amata. Oh, I adore a story that ends with a twist. The world's largest kelpie is also known by what other name?
The Loch Ness Monster.
Correct. The Office of Misinformation has worked diligently to discredit any Muggle evidence of the kelpie's existence. Who was the first Minister for Magic?
Ulick Gamp.
Yes! Gamp's greatest legacy was the founding of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. It outlawed the unforgivable curses. You've answered all of my questions. It's nice to know there's another student who appreciates the value of knowledge. I'm frankly astonished by how well you did. You have a talent for trivia. Thank you for humouring me by participating. I had a splendid time.
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
I think you're making a bit of a fuss.
Making a bit of a fuss? You wouldn't be saying that if it was disrupting beasts.
Point well taken.
Well, I think we should simply whip up a tongue-tying curse the next time they get up to their whispering.
Yes, that'll show them. The library's a place for serious studies, not frantic juvenile whispering.
But to be clear, you feel the library's an acceptable place for a tongue-tying hex?
Point well taken.
In my opinion, divination is a load of rubbish. Professor Anai seems so logical. I don't understand how she believes the things she teaches.
Sometimes I'm not fully sure if Ronan's teaching us a spell or having a practice himself. Don't you find? It's genuinely questionable as to whether the man's at Hogwarts to steer the next generation or to become the next Yurik the Oddball.
At first, I I thought Professor Garlick might be too young to be a professor, but she's more than capable. Knows her gillyweed from her gurdy root, that one.
Madame Kagawa's getting a bit of an easy run of things, isn't she? What with Quidditch being cancelled.
Rumor is, Professor Hecat used to work for the Ministry. Or wonder what she did.
Revelio.
I heard Professor Weasley transfigured the book with all her test answers into an owl.
My fizzing whiz beer is still brewing. These things take...
Taking owls a bit too literally, if you ask me.
Hello, Gareth. So, has your aunt been taking it a bit easier on you lately?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, a few days ago, she gave me a detention. I was only testing a new recipe in a mostly empty classroom, and the fire was put out quick enough.
You don't create anything worthwhile without setting a few things on fire.
Agreed. Innovators like us are unappreciated in our time. Can't let the doubters sway me. When they taste my latest brew, they'll forget their criticisms and the fires. It'll be bigger than butterbeer. Oh, that gives me an idea. Better write it down. Best of luck to you. How does Garrett's subterranean concoction sound? Too obtuse?
Settle down, settle down. Transfiguration, as you may be weary of hearing me say, is an exact science that can take a lifetime to master. But we needn't be daunted. Almost anything can be transformed if you can just perceive the potential within it. As I see in all of you, tremendous witches and wizards, every one of you. Or it could just be my eyesight. Now, you all know what to do. Beautifully done.
You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor.
I did. You seem to have had no trouble in getting up to speed, and frankly, excelling in your schoolwork this year.
Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful.
As I suspected they would be. Now, it seems you've been making good use of the opportunities presented by your field guide. Of course, the guide isn't the only measure of success. Deke tells me you captured a unicorn and brought it back to the Room of Requirement. Protecting so rare a beast is an accomplishment of which you can be quite proud.
Thank you, Professor.
I will say I'm especially impressed with all you've accomplished in light of the rumours of your extracurricular activities. Was your visit to the kitchens and the Hogsmeade graveyard with Nick to bribe a ghost for information connected in any way to Professor Fig?
Professor Fig has encouraged me to explore when I can in an effort to complete my field guide.
I see. I admire your penchant for learning, but do remember that your classwork and field guide are designed to educate you thoroughly. It'll be the end of the year in no time, and you'll want to be well prepared for your OWLs. I'll provide a final assessment at that time to ensure that you're ready for your exams. Until then, well done. You are dismissed.
Since our visit to Feldcroft, something dawned on me about the triptych. Meet me at the Overlook, just north of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll explain.
My plan with the helmet failed, but I have another idea. I think we may be able to find what we need at a goblin mine south of Hogwarts. Meet me there, and bring someone who speaks gobbledygook.
I remember our meet mentioning something about gobbledygook. Hello, Adelaide. How are you and your uncle doing?
Very well, thanks to you. The more I learn about Ranrock's foul lot, the more astounded I am that my uncle survived. I looked back over his old owls and noticed that they included pertinent details about his rare metal deposits. I believe that Ranrock's fiends were after those deposits and that they needed my uncle's knowledge. He was willingly going to rot away in that cell to keep me safe.
Any other pertinent details about those owls?
Plenty. Uncle Roland couldn't be certain, but he thought he overheard goblins talking about infusing something into goblin silver. He wasn't sure what they meant, but something about the way they spoke of it made his skin crawl. Ugh, it's clear you saved my uncle from a very bad lot.
It was nothing at all, Adelaide. I'm just glad your uncle's safe.
So am I. Seeing him again was such a relief. I told him that he must remain vigilant from now on. I, for one, can't help but look over my shoulder now whenever I leave the castle grounds.
Harry Pippin certainly steered me with that wound cleaning potion. His potion shop's better than you'd find in London, I reckon.
I always feel quite safe in Hogsmeade. It's your own fault if you come unstuck. That's what my mother would say. And certainly keep away from the Hog's Head. Most untoward.
Did you get your bit of root from Pippin's, or did you pick it yourself? I'm desperately in need of something.
To be honest, anything I could get in Diagon Alley this year, I was able to find in Hogsmeade.
I'd like to open a shop in Hogsmeade myself one day. Glad Rags could do with some competition.
I should have known better than to buy something from a child walking the streets of Hogsmeade. Little scallywag. Gold, they said it was. More like the work of a leprechaun. Stuff disappeared in a few hours. Such a moon mind.
So frustrating. You wanted to speak with me, Mother?
I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai.
Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful? Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an owl telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you, and she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well-intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating. She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me. I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the highlands rather freely until now, much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month, then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight, then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no, a person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now.
That may be safe, but I do not believe that it would be best. Do you? You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Ranrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Rookwood and Harlow, not hide from them. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
Off on another adventure, are we?
knows it was.
You certainly sound like you have an opinion on this.
Then in the end, it didn't shrink.
What didn't shrink?
The purse. I thought it was Mokeskin, but I'd obviously been taken in by the vendor.
I'll say, that's not going to help you much around thieves, is it?
Yes, all right, clever clogs. I knew I shouldn't have told you.
Don't worry. I once bought a pair of sturdy trousers from Gladrags, made of leather, or so I thought. Ah, I said, these will be exceptional to protect my legs from all the bramble in the forest.
And? Were they not?
Turns out the trousers were Mokeskin. Oh, dearie me. I can tell you, nothing in those trousers was protected.
I don't feel so bad then. That does sound rather untoward.
I don't mind living in dormitories. No parents around nagging me to pick up my robes.
A girl in our dormitory keeps getting packages of homemade pasties from her family. We shan't fit into our robes for next term at this rate.
I've taken to studying during the day in our dormitory. No one's there and I can practice my cast to my heart's content.
She put a bow truckle under my bed, and I know it was her. She's looking for trouble, that one. Looking for it.
I'm not entirely in agreement with what you're saying, but I do see your point.
Do you find yourself based on the portraits you pass? I do. Some are much better conversationalists than others.
Got a peek at the prefect's bathroom last year. I'd miss class for a week to soak in that tub.
I'd spend all day in the Great Hall if I could.
Outside of Feldcroft, near the catacomb.
It's in the library.
High wing, go! Revelio.
When he's around.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
I'd imagine the Hufflepuff common is the most delicious.
Revelio.
What's more powerful than the dark arts?
Revelio.
Hello, pardon me?
Hello there. Was there something you needed?
Hello, I was wondering if you would be interested in having your own shop and a house elf to help you with it. Penny's the name. Penny's mistress is selling this shop, and Penny is most eager to start working with the new owner. It might surprise you to know that Penny can sell practically anything.
Oh, it would be wonderful to have a place to sell things and someone to help me.
You'll be able to give Penny almost anything that you want to sell. It will be no work at all for you once the shop is up and running. If you want the shop and Penny hopes that you do, you should talk to Penny's mistress as soon as you can. Her name is Cassandra Mason.
Why is your mistress selling the shop? And you?
Penny cannot be certain, as Mistress Mason so rarely confides in her. However, she repeatedly mentions how tired she has become of trying to let the shop. She has had rotten bad luck with the last few tenants.
Are you all right? Are you holding your breath?
Penny's fine. Sometimes Penny simply needs to remind herself to stop talking.
What kind of things would I be able to sell in the shop?
All kinds. Anything from essence of Disney to mooncalf fur. If a buyer exists for something, then Penny can sell it and get the best price. Just ask Mistress Mason.
Why are the premises in such disarray?
Oh, the previous tenants were not able to manage very well. They seem to have given up rather quickly. Penny is perfectly capable of helping clean and repair, so the shop will be ready for business in no time.
How is it you're so good at selling? Seems unusual for a house elf.
Oh, before he died, Penny's previous owner, Master Mason, trusted her to do all sorts of things to help him with his shop. Penny supposes it is a bit unusual for a house elf to possess such skill, but Master Mason commanded it, and Penny was happy to oblige. Master Mason was a wonderful master.
All right. I shall go and find Madam Mason.
Oh, this is splendid news indeed. You won't be sorry. You can find Mistress Mason at her home on the north edge of the village. Penny does hope she gets to work with you.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Patronus to keep me safe. At least I think so.
I wish I'd paid more attention when I was at Hogwarts.
The young today aren't willing to put in the work to learn magic.
Too busy with fizzing whizbees, if you ask me. My mother used to say I was lazy, wouldn't pick up my toys, she said. Her own fault for teaching me Accio.
Nothing warms a body like incendio. That's what my mother used to say.
Revelio. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. 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 Hello, Madam Mason. I understand you have a shop to sell.
Why, yes. Yes, I do. Are you interested?
Perhaps. It depends upon your terms.
I think you will find my terms quite generous. But, and do please forgive me for asking, don't you think you might be a tad young to own a shop?
I am quite capable of owning a shop, I can assure you. I should think you'd be happy to have a buyer.
Well, I reckon you have the confidence needed for such a venture. And of course you'll have Penny to help you. That elf could sell tea to a troll. I assume she told you she comes with the place.
She did indeed.
I like you. Tell you what, I shall sell you the space for an exceedingly fair price. I think you might just be shrewd enough to make a go of it.
An exceedingly fair price for a shop and an elf. What's the catch?
Huh? You are wise to be wary in business dealings. No catch, really. I simply ask that you allow me to do you the favour of buying the shop back, at a discount, of course, should your efforts fail. The last thing we need here in Hogsmeade is for one bad apple to spoil the barrel, if you get my meaning.
Ha! Your faith in me is overwhelming. You're sorely mistaken if you think I'm going to fail.
There's that confidence again. And, of course, I wish you every success. Do we have a deal?
What precisely do you mean, should my efforts fail?
Honestly, I only mean that if for some reason you're unable to keep the shop going, I could help you cut your losses. That's all. But, as you've implied, the odds of that happening are remote.
The shop seems to be in an ideal location. Why has no one purchased it yet?
It is indeed. But I've just decided to sell. I've grown weary of being a landlady. My late husband was the one with a passion for shopkeeping and business in general. You'd be wise to take advantage of this opportunity before the offers start rolling in.
It looks to be rather a mess. Why haven't other tenants been able to make a go of it there?
As you've no doubt considered, running a shop is not as simple as those less savvy might think. The new owner, however, will have something that previous tenants did not, the benefit of Penny's particular prowess. Her assistance will make all the difference, I should think, in both getting the shop ready for business and ensuring its success.
It does sound intriguing, but I need to consider my finances first. I'll come and find you if I'm interested.
Very well, but I won't be able to keep the shop available for too long. If you do want the shop, I'd advise you to return to me as soon as possible.
Madam Mason, about the shop.
Yes?
I've decided I'd like to go ahead and purchase the shop.
I have to say I'm impressed. You are a remarkably resourceful student.
I am indeed.
And brave. You won't be sorry. Give me the money and I shall get the paperwork filed immediately.
Wonderful. Shall I head directly to the shop?
Please do. Oh, one more thing. Since my husband died, I've not been able to bring myself to retrieve some of his personal items. They're in a chest at the back of the shop. Penny has the key. As you get organised, I would be terribly grateful if you could help an old widow and gather his things for me before you open for business. I wish you the very best of luck in your endeavours. Penny will meet you there.
Revelio. Revelio. Well, I've done it, Penny. The shop is mine.
Oh, Penny is so pleased. Penny was hoping you would be the one to purchase it.
I'm glad you're here to help me.
Goodness, what a kind thing to say. Penny will do all that she can to make this a success. There is much to do. The last tenant left in a bit of a rush, so we'll need to clean up and do some repairs.
Well then, let's get to it.
Penny is ready. Between the two of us, we should have this place up and running in no time.
Reparo.
This will surely be the most successful shop in Hogsmeade. Oh, Penny can already see the potential. Mistress Mason wanted Penny to be sure and give you this key. It opens a chest in the back room of this shop.
Oh yes, she mentioned it to me. It contains some of her late husband's belongings.
Penny wonders if you should open the chest.
Are you holding your breath again?
Penny must get back to work now.
Revelio. Revelio. That's odd. Why would someone store one hat in here? Well, that's not very hospitable.
Oh, goody! Someone to play with. You seem brave, sweet. What fun this will be! For me, at least.
Revelio. Lumos. That's new. Onwards, I suppose. What in the... Who's there? Revelio. That's lovely. Revelio. Seems as if I should hang something there. Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. These lanterns must belong somewhere. Perhaps the lanterns are meant
How
to be...
enlightening! You might survive a bit longer than the others.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Oh, you've come so far, so quickly. Well done. You might be just the playmate I've been looking for. I do hope you enjoy my playground. I encourage you to tell everyone about it. If you make it out, that is. Please try. If you get to the end, perhaps we can come to some sort of arrangement. I do want your shop to succeed, after all. What's the saying? 2 sides to every story. Unfortunately for you, both sides nearer to my story. And you'll have to complete that to get to the end.
Revelio.
You've chosen the scholarly route. You'll need more than you've learned from books to best me.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Oh, déjà vu. Watch it.
Lumos. Revelio.
Running in circles, are we? Perhaps you should retrace your steps.
Lumos. What was that? Lumos. Lumos. Lumos.
Oh, how nice of him to pop in.
Lumos.
Home, sweet home.
Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa.